So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for the third and final race here at Alastaro in Finland for the SMP Northern European Zone Formula 4 Championship. We've had two thrilling races so far. The second race earlier today was just unbelievable. We had a full action-packed race, and it was won by our race one race winner, Vladimir Atwev. So he has had 2 poles and 2 wins so far.
Absolutely thrilling job by Vladimir Atwev. Also, Niko Kari hasn't done too bad.
Yeah, he's had 2 second positions so far, and he's extended his lead in the championship so far. But we've got the third and final race, usually the most action-packed of the weekend. In race 2, we had flying cars. It looked like a scene from Helsinki Airport at one point, didn't it, with Nikita Troitsky running into the back of Matveev and going airborne during the safety car, in fact. We also had Inam Ahmed making an outstanding start from P5, getting into P2 by the first corner, but unfortunately Isakian and Kari made contact, which forced Ahmed out into the gravel. So a real thrilling race, wasn't it, Mickey?
It was. So for the race number 3, all the cars are starting by their second fastest lap time from the qualifying. We are just going to get the start order on the screen.
So championship-wise, you can see Niko Kari's extended his championship lead now, so he just needs another consistent point-scoring race here at Alastaro. The sun is still shining. The grid girls are still looking happy. So all is good in the world. There we go, what timing.
Absolutely great timing.
And we see Vladimir Atwev again starting on pole position, as he has done in race 1 and race 2. He really has dominated this weekend so far, hasn't he, Mickey?
Yes, he has.
He just seems to have the edge on everybody. We've been through data in the interim between race 2 and race 3, and he's just so quick in sector 1. So we'll see if he can make the most of this third race and get a full point scoring haul.
Here we have Ivan Matveev, who had to retire from the second race.
Yeah, he was unlucky, wasn't he? He had Troitsky launch himself over the back of him.
Yeah, but the whole thing was basically just the fault of the safety car.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
So Troitsky, unfortunately, unsighted and just ran straight into the back of Matveev, which caused a bit of carnage, didn't it? I think 4 cars retired under that one accident.
Mechanics had a big job too.
I think the beers are going to be bought for those boys. They've had no lunch and they've been flat out trying to rebuild some of these damaged cars.
And I think they had to change 2 engines. I mean, 2 bell towers and 1 engine as well.
Wow.
Okay, it seemed like Eddie's microphone wasn't just quite in place. Here we have the starting order. Vladimir Atwev on pole once again for the 3rd time during the weekend. We have Ivan Matveev on 2nd place, Niko Kari 3rd, Alexei Kornev 4th, Simo Laaksonen 5th, Nikita Troitsky 6th. And Nikita Troitsky also had to retire from the race 2 since the collision they had together with Matveev. Hopefully they will have a better race this time. And we have Nerse Sirakian on a 7th place. He did a great job in qualifying though. I mean, his fastest lap was good enough for 3rd place, but then unfortunately his 2nd fastest wasn't that good.
Yep, so like race 1, we've got the fast starting Finn Huovanen is starting last, because as those of you that watched earlier, you'll know that he had a bit of an unfortunate qualifying session and had an engine problem, so didn't actually put a lap time down. And we've also got Inam Ahmed that's had 2 fantastic starts so far. He's back in 9th position. He didn't quite get the most out of his qualifying session that he'd like to have done, but so far it's not really hampered him. He's had some really fantastic starts. So those 2 are definitely 2 cars to watch.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to see Inam start again if he's able to do such a good job as before.
For sure.
Yeah, such an unfortunate thing what happened in the race 2.
So, Mickey, you think that this is really going to be a test to see who was kindest on their tyres in race 2?
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure that Kari is going to be one who's going to struggle the most with his tyres. Vladimir Ratoev, I mean, the guy is just driving so smooth and precise that I'm quite sure that his tyres are in a good conditions and condition that he's not going to be having such problems.
And we'll also have...
we have Mats Vev in the 2nd position, who had to retire from race 2, so his tyres are very fresh compared to Vladimir's.
Yeah, same as Troitsky, I guess. He spent most of the time flying as opposed to driving, so there'll be some quick boys in amongst the pack, and you've also got Hirvonen coming from the back and also Ahmed as well, so it should be a real thriller of a 3rd and final race here at Alastaro. You'll see we've got 2 minutes before they head out on their green flag lap. And here we are with Troitsky. That's a completely rebuilt car. He doesn't look too bothered by his crash earlier, does he?
No. Those are kind of things which you just, have to deal with and forget about them and just go forward.
Yeah, move on.
Move on with life. All right, guys, starting up the engines. Again, a very important lap to get into the tires so they can do the quick lap times as soon as possible after the lights go off.
So, guys, for those of you that don't know, the prize fund for this championship, yeah, it's a first. The prize fund for this championship is €350,000. So, all to race for in this 3rd and final race. Obviously, we've got 3 more rounds left, 9 races after this one. So it really is a fantastic opportunity for these guys to win. I think it's the biggest prize fund in this Formula 4 category, isn't it?
I don't think that even German and Italian F4 have any prize funds.
No, so it's a fantastic championship and a real incentive for these kids to really push on. Wouldn't be a bad prize, would it? €350,000.
I could have a use for it.
Yeah, but we couldn't broadcast that on live television, unfortunately. So, Mickey, warm-up lap, we're on board here. What would your advice be to these guys? Just plenty of heat in these tyres?
Yeah, just try to be aggressive, and use the brakes to get the heat in the tyres. Pretty basic after all. But you just really have to be aggressive on the formation lap to get the max heat on the tyres so that you can start, lapping the good times right after the lights go off.
So on board here with Hirvonen, he's right at the back. He's made some great progress in race 1 and race 2. Race 2 didn't make a fantastic start, did he? I think he bogged down off the line, but he still managed to come through to, I think it was 7th in the end.
Yeah, well, he was lucky that he was able to avoid all the crashes.
Yeah, that certainly helped him.
I was talking to him after the race and he was just complaining how hard it is to overtake.
Oh, really? So all to do on the first couple of laps then?
All right, so we are almost ready. Waiting for the last cars to arrive, find their grid positions.
So here we go, 3rd and final race here at Alastaro, about to start.
Okay, this is a new angle for us.
So engine revs rise, watching the lights. Who's going to get the best start here? And we go. Kari looked like he had a good start.
Kari got a great start.
Ataev struggling a little bit off the line, but he's managed to hold P1. We've got Ahmed coming around the outside again. Wow, what a start.
Braking.
Is that Ahmed into P3 from 9th? Wow.
It is.
So Atoev leading, Kari, Matveev, and then Ahmed. What a start from the young Brit.
Ahmed is definitely going for a podium finish in this race.
Wow, what a start. Fantastic job from the young Brit. Atoev then straight away in command.
Followed by Niko Kari, Ivan Matveev on third.
So Atoev going a little bit defensive there. He's obviously having a little look in his mirrors for Niko Kari.
I think Kari really wants to win this one.
I think he's pushing on. It looks like the first two have made a bit of a gap already from Matveev. On board here with Sitnikov. See if he can make any progress into turn 8 here.
Is, you know, definitely the hardest corner on the track.
For sure, you see somebody just running wide there.
Yeah.
So already Huovinen into P11. So the fast starting Finn from the back of the grid has made up 3 positions already. So as we cross the line for the first lap, we've got Atoev from Kari, Matveev, Ahmed, Isakian, Larkson and Kornev, Nicholas Nieland, and then Troitsky, Ivestignev, Huovinen, Maslenikov, Sitnikov and Mavlanov. And so far the fastest man on the circuit is our man Vladimir.
Seems like Ahmed is receiving slight pressure from Isakian.
It does.
These 2 guys are very close to each other. Okay. Looks like Ahmed is locking his rear tires in the gearbox.
Oh, here we go. Here's Huovinen putting a move on Ivestignev. I think that is to the left. Is he going to make this one stick? This will be a bit of a balls out moment if he sends there. Sensible chap. The way around the outside of that flat out left-hander, is it, Mickey?
No chance.
So he knows he needs to push on in these early laps, getting quite a lot of understeer there through turn 8. So Atoev again, the man in command. He's got a 7/10 lead over Niko Kari. Let's see if he's pulled it out as he crosses the line. He has. It's now extended to 9/10. He's purple again, so the fastest man on the circuit is our tall Russian Vladimir Atoev. He's just put in a 13.5. Followed by P2 Niko Kari with a 13.9.
I think we can expect them to do at least 12.7.
Yeah.
12.5.
And looking
now
at
it's a time for Ahmed to really push
on.
Yeah. This is his moment.
Isakian really is a man on a mission, isn't he, this weekend? He's a great performance from the young Russian.
He has raised his level a lot compared to the last 2 races.
Yeah. Unfortunate in race 2, he had a bit of contact with Niko Kari, ended up having a bit of an off and wiping out in Ahmed actually. So these two have a bit of history already today. So hopefully they don't make the same errors as they did earlier in race 2. Oh, we've got a car off.
Seems like someone's out. Yellow flag. Okay, that's been a contact.
There. That's Ivestignev.
Yeah.
Looks like he's damaged.
He's just fighting with Huovinen.
He has. Do we think Huovinen tried to put a move? Oh no, he's just driven off the track himself.
He's drove off the track.
That would be a twitchy moment, wouldn't it?
Wall.
Yeah. That would be. I'm sure he was a little bit nervous then as he left the track. Let's hope that doesn't put the safety car out.
Isakian really giving pressure for Ahmed.
So what would you do if you're in Ahmed's shoes right now, Mickey? Would you be just trying to still push on or defend?
Well, it seems like Matveev is not much quicker than Enam after all, and the gap is not too long, so okay. Seems like Enam made a little mistake. What I would do, just try to, you know, improve my driving and somehow catch the guy in front of me. Wait for him to do mistakes or whatever. But if it's starting to seem like that Isakian is a lot quicker, maybe just not fight with him too much and try to, you know, catch Matveev with him.
So you'll see Ivestignev there is parked on the exit of turn 7. So do you think they'll put a safety car out for that one? It's.
I think we are all right with the yellow flag. They just get to move the car a little bit. Should be all right.
So it looks like Ahmed has just made a little bit of a gap on Isakian on that last lap. I think when Isakian just tried to pull the move into the hairpin, it probably compromised his pace a little bit. So let's see if the Brit can now focus on the car in front and make a bit of a charge. So Atuev again dominating this race as he has all weekend. He's now pulled out a 1.3 second lead to Finn Nico Kari. So here we go, here's the start once again. So eyes on Ahmed at the back. He went from P9
all the way up to P4.
All the way up to P4. Atuev not bad. You see here he'll appear on the brakes.
What a late braking he did.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do in race 2, I think, but just got collected by...
the collision between Nico Kari and Isakian.
Yeah. Good start by Kari.
Yeah, reasonable. Managed to get the second position.
And there we see the stricken car of Ivestik, which is parked right on the entry into turn 8. So it looks like they'll have waved yellows throughout the whole race for that one. Isakian has just gone purple in sector 2, so he is really trying to put the pressure on Inam Ahmed right now as we ride on board with Sitnikov in 11th place. He has the flying Nikita Troitsky in front.
We also have to remember that Isakian has almost brand new tyres from the race 2.
Yes, good point, Mickey, good point. Oh, Permanent. Does he look like he's... No.
I don't know what's happened with him. Why he's so far away from
P9 at the moment.
Yeah. Huge gap between him and Newland. Is he catching?
So again, Vladimir Atuev sends sector 1 purple, so he is pushing still. Even though he has a 1.6 second lead, the Tour Russian is pushing on. He really wants this third win of the weekend. So slight lock up there for Huovinen.
So it seems again that Vladimir Atuev is pulling away from everyone else and just driving to the victory in his own pace.
Yeah, it seems like the pack has settled in a little bit now.
We still have 70 minutes to go, but
anything could happen.
Anything can happen.
As we start that lap, Atuev extends his lead again by a tenth to 1.7 seconds, and he's the fastest man on the circuit with a 13 dead. He's 2/10 quicker than anybody out there, Mickey. He really, really wants this win. He seems to do no wrong this weekend.
And once again, he's making the gap in the first sector.
Oh, big lock up there from Matveev in P3. Could that enable Ahmed just to get onto the back of the Russian? But he does have his mirrors full of the ever-improving Isakian. And as you rightly say, Isakian's tyres will be stronger towards the end of the race, as he only managed sort of, well, just the straight of the last race, didn't he, before he ended up the gravel.
I think they just got to move Estiknev's car away from the corner.
So on board with Kornev now, podium finisher in race 2. He's currently in P7, just behind the flying fin of Larksonen. So we'll see if he can make his way up the field. Seems now Ahmed has just pulled a little bit of a gap out on Isakian. Matveev goes quickest, so great lap by the young Russian there. Puts in a 13 dead, so he's currently the fastest man on the circuit. Ahmed with a 13.1, Isakian with a 13.4.
What about Kari?
Nico Kari is on a 13.1, as is Vladimir Atuev. So Matveev puts in a bit of a stomping lap that one to be 10th quicker than anybody. We'll see if he can keep that pace up.
Newland just had a big moment in the corner 7.
So the flat-out left-hander again seems to be catching a few of these guys out. Maybe tyre wear has a bit of a...
He had a huge moment in the exit. All right, Kornev sliding up in as well.
Would you say now the window is kind of where the tyres are starting to drop out? Maybe.
Maybe. Not that clear yet.
Isakian has just gone into the first man to go into the 1:12, so 1:12.9.
All right.
So the boys
He has to be in the
third
tail
and
of
fourth
Enam.
is, yeah, they're really pushing on. Atwev 12.9, Kari 13.2, Matveev 13.1, Ahmed 13, Dead Izakian 12.9. So they're...
I think they're not too far away from Kari.
Yeah, they're still pushing on. Matveev key, another lock-up.
Big lock-up.
So he's really going to feel that around the quicker stuff.
That's making him slower.
Tällä hetkellä Anton ja Kari välillä 2,3 sekuntia.
Did you see how limit they are? The extra, the fast left-hander.
These boys really pushing.
Okay, again lock-ups by Laaksonen.
So Kornev now putting huge pressure on the Finn. Can he force him into an error and promote himself from P7 to P6?
We'll see.
We're on board again with Kornev. So talk us through this, Mickey. Down the straight.
Down the straight, first corner. Quite fairly fast right-hander. Very short straight between the first and second corner. So again, the exit of corner 1 doesn't really matter. Huge banking in the second corner. Just push the entry and minimum speed. Try to get all the use out of it.
Here we go. Replay.
Yeah.
This is Huovinen from last.
See what happened to Huovinen.
Showing his highlights. How he made his way from last up to P9.
Why he dropped so far away from the others.
And there's Ivestignev having a bit of a moment.
Yeah, we think that
I can imagine he would maybe needs to change his underwear after that moment, Mickey.
Probably.
And again, Izakian goes fastest with a 12.8, so he really wants to get onto the back of Ahmed. He's the fastest man out there.
Impressive. And he's such a nice dude on the paddock as well.
Yeah, good kid, for
Very
sure.
happy that he's doing well.
So Atwev now with a 2.7 second lead from championship leader Niko Kari, who is 1.7 seconds ahead of Matveev, followed by Ahmad Izakian, Laaksonen, who's under pressure from the ever-chasing Kornev, followed by Nicholas Nyland and Huovinen that started last, and then followed by Sitnikov, Troitsky and Mavlanov.
Have they been catching Kari during the last lap? I think so.
A little bit. It seems Nico seems to be struggling a little bit with his tyres, and we see Izakian all over the gearbox of Inam Ahmed. So maybe, as we said in race 2, Mickey, Niko Kari is an aggressive driver. Maybe his tyres are starting to drop off. And you'll see that Matveev, Ahmed and Izakian are all closing in. We'll keep an eye on the gap for second place in the closing stage of this race. Still 11 minutes to go. Plenty of time for lots of action to happen yet.
Absolutely. Anything can happen in 11 minutes. Isn't it hot in here, Eddie?
Very. It's like a sauna. The Finnish, they love a sauna, so they thought they'd put one on for us in the commentary box.
I really enjoy this.
So Atwev 2.9 seconds ahead of Kari. Matveev, there's no change in the gap between second and third.
This is such a tight pack.
The times are so close.
Masveva. Oh, Izakian made a slight mistake in the exit.
So that's given an arm a little bit of breathing space.
Exactly.
So Atwev on a 13 dead, Kari a 13.2, Matveev 13.2, Ahmed 13 dead, Izakian 31. Ahmed at the inside, brilliant move. Fantastic move at the inside for Matveev, and now he's got Izakian all over him, but he'll never get around the outside there, will he?
No way.
What a manoeuvre on the brakes, Ahmed.
That had to be a late braking.
Into P3, I think that probably caught Matveev unaware, and Izakian has got past. So maybe all those lockups by Matveev, a little bit tentative into the hairpin.
I can just think how Enam's feeling in the car.
I'm sure he'll be very excited in that seat.
P3.
So let's see if now, if the young Brit, the European and World Karting Champion, can start closing in on Niko Kari.
I think he might have a chance.
Both him and Izakian's tyres should be better. Obviously, they both didn't finish the race. So, by the looks of the times, obviously we had a bit of overtaking there. Kari's still on a 13.2. Atwev again has extended his lead. Here's the manoeuvre. What a move. Out of nowhere. What would you give him out of 10 for that, Mickey, for that overtaking?
Yes. And 1 for that.
1 for Matveev.
Yeah.
Should have defended.
Should have defended a little bit.
So here we go, on board with Kornev. Larkson making a bit of an error into the hairpin, locking up. Mickey, why do so many drivers lock up into the hairpin? What seems to be the current theme there?
It's the fact that they're still young drivers, so they don't know to put enough peak pressure on the brakes,
yeah,
and start coming quick enough off the brakes while they start turning into the corner.
Right.
As when you start turning into the corner, the front tire gets lighter.
Lifts off the ground, as it were, yeah, and then locks.
That's why it locks.
So let's look at the lap times as they come across for lap 13. We've got Atwev leading on 13.1. Kari has responded with a 13.1. Ahmed 13 dead. Izakian 13 dead. Matveev 13.5. So the guys in third and fourth are starting to put pressure on Nico Kari. You can see now the gap's getting a little bit closer. Oh, Kornev, bit of a lunge into turn 3. Never going to happen, was it?
Bit too optimistic in my opinion.
Compromise him down this huge long straight now. Fair play for having a look. So it seems that the top 4 are all lapping within a tenth, and they're around about 3 to 4 tenths quicker than the rest of the pack here in the final race at Alastaro. Look at that lead Atwev's got. He's really just cruising. Oh, Izakian having a look at the inside of Ahmed. He has the corner covered, so this is where the action's at now for P3.
Izakian seems to be all over him.
He does. Let's see how the young Brit reacts to a bit of pressure. Let's hope they don't have the same misfortune as race 2. Ahmed sliding a little bit. Let's hope that doesn't just compromise his run onto the straight.
Keep your cool. No.
So nose to tail now, that's enabled Matveev to come onto the back of Izakian a little more. So that lap, Ahmed, bit of a mistake. We've got a 13 dead from Atwev, 13-1 from Kari, and then Ahmed, Izakian are in the 14.6 and 14.5. So do we think Izakian will put a move on into the hairpin here?
We'll see what happens. As the right tender is so hard to drive in.
Oh, he's looking.
No.
Inarm goes defensive. Some good defensive driving there from Inarm Ahmed.
7 minutes.
Izakian now needs to be looking in his mirror as well, because this little battle will enable Matveev and also Larkson and Kornev have caught onto this battle.
I wonder what happened to Inarm after he overtook Matveev.
What do we think? A little error somewhere that's enabled the rest of the pack to catch up.
Yeah, I mean, this will make the rest of the race very interesting, as everyone's so close to each other. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars.
All battling for P3, so some fantastic action here in the third and final race from Alastaro.
This is going to be interesting.
So Vladimir Atwev leads, 3-second lead from Nico Kari. Inarm Ahmed now 4 seconds adrift from second place with a big queue of traffic behind him. He's doing a fantastic job of defending. He's got his mirrors full of the young charging Russian Izakian, who in turn has Matveev, Larksonen, Kornev, all trailing behind.
Yeah, some Russian livery in his mirrors.
So this will be a great test.
Again defending into the hairpin.
So this is just enabling the rest of the pack to come in onto the back of this third place battle. We have Nico Kari on that last lap, the quickest man out on the field, so he's really getting his head down. You can probably see this little gaggle of cars in his mirrors, and he's just getting his head down and trying to get a big gap.
And now Nico has really pulled away from these guys. Back in the safe zone, I could say.
We can see that from third place now, the lap times have dropped off by a second to that of Atwev and Kari. So lap 16, Vladimir Atwev from Nico Kari and Inarm Ahmed. We have Izakian, Matveev, Larkson and Kornev in the top 7.
Let's see if Larkson is able to make a move on Matveev. He seems to be very, very close.
these guys get much of a tow around this circuit, Mickey, with these big straights?
Well, the straights aren't actually that long, Eddie.
Okay.
So you don't really get a big use, you don't really benefit from tow.
So would it be hampering,
like, hampering
Ezekiel behind Ahmed?
Yeah, well, I'd say that even though if Ezekiel is quicker than Enam is going to be able to defend his position until the end of the race, because on this track it's quite easy.
Yeah.
There's just few things you have to be sure about. Either you get well out of corner 2 and also well out of corner 3, so that you don't kind of get too close.
Bit of a mistake from Ezekiel coming onto the back straight there, which will give Inam Ahmed a little bit of breathing space going into this lap. And now we've got Matt Vive closing in onto the back. Someone's run a little bit wide there.
Curry just drops his rear tires on the sand a little bit in the exit. I wonder what's happening with Newland. He finished P4 in the race 2, and now he's
Currently in
back.
P8. His pace looks good. He did a 13.8 on the last lap, so the young Finn just sitting in P8 behind Corneve. I think he's a little bit of a way behind this pack. Corneve running slightly wide on the exit of the quick turn 7 there.
Right.
Now it seems to be that Ahmed has just settled back into a bit of a rhythm. We've got lap times back down to the low 13s, lapping at the same pace as Niko Kari. And again, Vladimir Atuev just seems in a league of his own. 12.8 on that last lap. So he really is pushing it. 4-second lead from Niko Kari on a 13.3. Ahmed 13.1. Followed by Ezekiel on a 13.4.
Atuev just made 112.8.
Pushing.
Brilliant.
So we're on board now with Huovinen. He's in P9. He's now behind Nyland. So let's see if he can make a little move on his fellow Finn down into the hairpin.
But at least before the race, he was telling me that in the previous race, it was just impossible to overtake the hairpin. But Enam Ahmed showed us that it wasn't.
So, Corneve,
right.
bit of a moment there in the background. Ahmed's pulled a little bit more of a gap on Ezekiel. He was 3/10 down on that lap to the young Brit, which has enabled Matt Vive to close a little bit more onto the back of Ezekiel. So we're now on board with Corneve as he just runs wide on the exit of this flat out left-hander.
The mistake was that he went too much over the inside curb.
So ran a bit too much inside, and it forced him wide.
Yes. But it seems like Ezekiel is starting to losing the advantage of the fresh tires he had.
Yeah, so lap 19 we had Atuev 12.9, Kari 13.2, Ahmed 13 dead, Ezekiel 13.1. So these guys really still pushing at this later stage of this race. We've got 1 minute to go in the third and final race here at Alastaro.
Now let's see if we get to see any more overtakings. Okay, slight lock up from Simo Laaksonen.
We haven't really seen the lead, have we? Atuev, he's just disappeared off again. 4.5 second lead. Seems to be cruising, but he's still pushing as he's the fastest man on the circuit. So the 6-foot Russian really is on it this weekend.
Yes, absolutely. A hat-trick. He's just going a hat-trick this weekend. 3 in a row. Not bad.
So there we go, the leader crosses the line for the 20th time, followed by Niko Kari. Seems to be that Atuev and Kari backed off a little bit on that lap. Atuev 13.4, Kari 13.4, Ahmed 13.3, and Ezekiel 12.9. So Ezekiel currently fastest on that lap. So maybe he can smell this final lap coming in and wants to put as much pressure as possible on Inam Ahmed.
We're out of time, so there's only one more lap to go until the checkered flag. such a beautiful weather we had over the weekend.
Amazing. Couldn't ask for more.
Surprising since we are in Finland. It's usually never like this.
So, as the front pack head back around to the start of the lap, we have Vladimir Atoev, comfortable 21st lap with a 13.1. His pace has been outstanding the whole weekend. Every single lap he's put in, he's been fastest or nearly fastest. Followed by Nico Kari on a 13.4, Ahmed on a 13.1 is a key and 13 dead. So out of those top 4, Nico Kari, the steadiest on that lap. It's a hell of a gap now between Atoev and Kari. We've got 4.6 second lead.
It seems like Atoev's engine cover is still a bit out of place on this side.
Oh yeah.
Can you see?
A little bit loose, yeah.
Well, that's something you really don't benefit.
So Vladimir Atoev, fastest in qualifying. Race 1 winner, fastest lap. Race 2 winner, fastest lap. And now he's going to hopefully win race 3 as he approaches the last corner. So there we go, look at him. Happy as Larry. Vladimir Atoev, our race 3 winner, and he completes his hat-trick of wins for the weekend, followed by Nico Kari.
Also made a great job during the weekend.
3 seconds, that's perfect for his championship. Followed by Inam Ahmed, outstanding race from him from 9th position up into the podium.
Such a good job.
Some great starts and awesome overtaking manoeuvres from Ahmed. Isakian P4, he'll be happy with that. Followed by Matviv P5, Luxonen P6, Kornev P7, Nicholas Neeland in 8th, Huovinen in 9th, Sitnikov in 10th, and then we have Mavlanov in 11th and Troitsky in 12th. So what do we think, Mickey? Driver of the weekend's got to be this chap, the 6-foot Russian. He's really dominated this weekend, hasn't he?
Yeah, he definitely showed everyone else how to do it. And so constant throughout the whole weekend. And it was funny how he didn't show any pace in the free practices, and then in the qualifying, just something, you know, happened.
Just turned it on. Yeah. Nico Kari also a real consistent weekend for him. Inam Ahmed unfortunately in race 2, but some of his starts have just been absolutely ballistic. So there we go, there's the classification. Some outstanding races. 5.1 second lead there from Vladimir Atoev. He really has dominated this weekend here at Alastaro.
Again, a good race from Isakian.
Yeah, he's got some good points this weekend also.
Didn't he start from P7? I think he did.
Yes, he did, yeah.
So, couple of steps up the pack.
And we'll see what that does to the championship.
Well, I mean, if Atoev is going to be as quick through the rest of the season, he's really, you know, Nico has to start, you know, watch out for him.
Yeah, for sure. For sure,
he's not too far. I think, what, 40 points?
Yeah,
bit less than 40 points.
Yeah.
So, championship is still open.
Still wide open, and we've got 3 more rounds, 9 races, so plenty of points to be had. So here we go, a few highlights. So I have to say, best starter there has to be Inam Ahmed, coming from P9. Look at this on the brakes. He goes out of shot and just appears.
Look at how late he's here.
Look at that.
It's just
awesome driving from the young Brit. And then on board with Huovinen. Didn't really make much of an impression in this race, Huovinen.
That's really as much. I mean, that's very quiet throughout the race.
Yeah. We see how young
Russian. His only moment, I think. Okay, passing 2 guys by 1 move is nice, but.
And there we see a Vistignev having a bit of a moment on the grass there. That would have woke him up.
Whole car jumping around.
And then we see Matviv.
Huge lock up from Matviv.
Bit of a lock up into the hairpin.
This is a key on giving some pressure for Enam.
What a move that is into the hairpin. So late on the brakes, it's so hard to overtake into that corner, so 10 out of 10 for Enam there.
Yeah, we're gonna buy him an ice cream. Here it likes a Korlev. That was a bit too optimistic, in my opinion, would you say, Eddie?
And then we've got some more pressure being put on by Ezekiel onto Enam Ahmed. He tried everything but just couldn't put enough pressure on the young Brit to force an error. So some fantastic action here from the Northern European Zone SMP Racing Formula 4 Championship. I have to probably say race 2 was the best for me, the most exciting. Plenty of incidents. You see Kornev running very wide there, lucky boy. And Vladimir Atoev dominating the entire weekend. You'd probably say, Mickey, that's a perfect race weekend from a racing driver point of view, isn't it?
Yeah, well, could you ask for better? Pole and 3 wins.
Maybe he could bag a grid goal later. That would be the perfect.
That would be like that.
Perfect.
Dots on the eye.
Maybe we have a word with him, see what he can do.
Let's see if we can organize something.
So even at the end there, looking at the timing sheet, the top 5 separated by a 10th in terms of lap time. So ultra competitive times coming in from these inexperienced drivers, really showing the skills and talents that they're only going to develop over the years.
Eddie, tell us, when you're working with the drivers, what do you do with them?
As Edge Sporting Management, we manage everything from negotiating the deals with the teams to driver coaching to fitness, nutrition, pretty much everything.
So you basically just take care of everything?
Absolutely everything. Logistics, you know, it's a big job, especially for a parent to undertake if they're having to fund their loved one through these junior ranks, and it's very time consuming, and a lot of people probably don't appreciate how time consuming it is, so we try and take some of the pressure off of the parents and just make it as easy as possible and try and give the best opportunities to all the drivers. So we look at all different championships, the best routes for that particular driver, try and look at their weaknesses, their strengths, and work them in that way. So there we go.
Here we have our happy lad.
And he happens to be one of our drivers, Mickey. He did well. That boy did good. He's got to be happy with that P9 to P3. Nico Kari, really consistent weekend, but you know, hats off to the next chap that's going to get on the stand there.
This was the man of the weekend, Vladimir Atoev.
Built for basketball, but a real quick racing driver.
Yeah, seems to be quite good at
Still
racing
doesn't look
as
that
well.
happy, does he? And there's Christoph from Hankook, top bloke, knows his tyres. Anything to know about rubber? We need to ask that man.
Ask him. And I'm clapping. All right, here's Nico Kari receiving his trophy from our boss, Afa Koiranen, who's running the whole championship. Here we have the CEO of Finnish Racing Federation, AKK Motorsport, Jani Backman, giving the first place trophy for Vladimir Atoev. Hats off.
And they managed to fix the PA. So there we have it, guys. Are they going to do
Now
the
it's
champagne?
champagne
Yes. Enorm's legged it. They'll get better at this as well, won't they, as they get a bit more experienced.
Do you also practice this with edge sporting management?
No, but we should.
I think we should.
Yeah.
As it's part of the whole deal.
So there we have it. Fantastic 3 races from the Northern European Zone SMP Racing Formula 4 Championship. We've got the championship now. Nico Kari, 219 from Atoev. He's jumped to position into 188.
Atoev is not too far away now.
No, Nico needs to be sleeping with one eye open for the rest of the season because the fast-charging Russian is on his tail.
And Alexander Huovin had such an unfortunate weekend. He was looking so strong in the free practices.
He was. If you were going to be a betting man, he'd be the one you'd put your money on, wouldn't he, to win these races? But that's motorsport. Unfortunate qualifying and resulted in...
Started P last to every race.
Yeah, he had a big job. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed listening to myself, Eddie Reynolds and Mickey Weckstrom. I think we need a round of applause and a beer after
our first time commentating anything.
Commentating live. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you for the next round in Estonia in a couple of weeks' time.
That's right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Näin ja 5 punaista valoa palaa tuossa radakaalla. Autot tulevat jonkun ajan päästä vähän suoralle ja mikäli kilpailujohto on sitä mieltä, että se on hyvän näköinen muodostelu, mutta tulee, niin ainahan on semmoinen ammattimies, että ei ole lemminkäisestä parijonosta. Ja ei ole ihan pieni pari.